Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is LBThaRealist with Realistic Studios once again. And I just wanted to make a quick, brief video on what I thought about Jimmy Dore's follow-up video to the whole Seth Rich murder mystery investigation. So I received some comments stating that people thought that Jimmy Dore went back and retracted everything that he said about the whole case. When I watched the video, the main point that I took from it was that he didn't trust the ex DC Washington DC police officer Rod Wheeler, because he was supposedly going back on what he said. First he said that he actually saw the evidence, and then he's saying that he never saw the evidence. That was Jimmy Dore's point. Also, one of the main points was that Rod Wheeler couldn't name any of the sources that he was referring to. One of the sources being the federal investigator he claimed to have seen the actual emails, the emails that were sent to Wiki Links, the emails that were sent to Wiki Links, and also a DNC staffer who, let me see, it was a DNC staffer who I guess had contacted the family to see what Rod Wheeler was saying, or what he was trying to dig up, basically. This is all according to Rod Wheeler. So there was a lot of he say, she say shit. And I get Jimmy Dore's point. Jimmy Dore's point is, if you can't give me something, then there's nothing. He calls it big nothing burger, which is fucking hilarious to me. Who wants a burger with nothing on it, right? You know. But yeah, and I get that. But here's another aspect of that, though. Maybe he's not saying who his sources are for obvious reasons. Can we think of anybody else who doesn't really, release the names of their sources because of possible, I don't know, retaliation? Possible, right? The reason why he doesn't want to give up the name of the federal investigator is because he's a federal investigator investigating. He doesn't want to jeopardize the life of that source. That's his source. Another one, the same with the DNC staffer. Just because he's trying to shed light on this matter, and he may have been, he may be a Fox News contributor or a Republican donor or whatever the case may be. He was actually a former Washington, D.C. police detective, homicide detective. So he does have credentials. And, it just doesn't make sense for him to want to give up his source, and then, like, for the DNC staffer, he does want to take down the, he wants this investigation to go through, but that doesn't mean that he wants anybody killed. Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean that you want to kill Democrats. You don't want somebody to lose their life over this situation. Or perhaps he himself didn't want to lose his life. And maybe I'm getting too into conspiracy here. When I get into talks of people murdering people and losing lives, and possibly so, I could be totally full of shit, and this story could be totally full of shit. I said from the gate, if it comes out this was full of shit, then I'll come back and I'll be like, you know what, this was total bullshit. I got duped. But there's still some things that we have to clarify. Like, number one, why did it take him 2.5 hours to get home? He left around 1:15 a.m. in the morning from the bar, and he arrived at his house around 4:19. They say 1:15 to 4:19. That's 2:15, 3:15. That's 2.5, 3 hours right there. What happened in that time? He didn't call everybody along the way, or supposedly he called everyone along the way home. He walked home. 2.5, 3 hour walk? What happened during that time? This investigation is a year old already, and they have 0 suspects. They have a grainy video camera They have the grainy footage of 2 suspects supposedly, but they have no one in custody. After a year, okay. Why is the FBI involved? The FBI means Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's an investigation federally. This is a federal investigation, so it's not just the Washington or the Washington D.C. Police Department investigating this case. It's the feds. Also, Seth Rich was a data analyst. He helped to, or he made the programs to to help voters find their voting precincts. Supposedly, that's what he did. So, could he possibly have had access to any secret or classified or possibly incriminating or embarrassing DNC files that he might have possibly sent to Wikileaks? Possible. At least knew somebody who had access. Yeah, there's just too many whys, too many questions. Plus, this Bowman guy supposedly is a crisis PR consultant for the Democratic Party. Now you could argue maybe Seth Rich was a DNC staffer, so maybe they offered their services. But the crisis part, he died. It was a murder. Maybe that was the crisis part, right? I don't know. There's a lot of things that just don't add up to me. It's been over a year. They have no suspects. They have nobody in custody. They have grainy video footage. They still, and even Jimmy Dore in his video, at the end of his video, he does mention that the Wiki Links connection does throw him off. But as far as this Wheeler guy, he's just not feeling it. And that alone might have been enough for Jimmy Dore to not want to even talk about or touch the story anymore. Just for the fact alone. So that, to me, there's an issue. Because that tells me one of two things. Either number one, Jimmy Dore is totally underestimating the legitimacy and accuracy of Wikileaks and Julian Assange. And two, it means that Julian Assange is trying to pour gasoline on the fire, or he's trying to mislead people in some kind of way. Some people think he's working with the Russians. So it's either one of those two things. Either number one, Julian Assange has a nefarious purpose when he does these things, which I don't see how or why. What would be the purpose? Why offer a $20,000 reward for any information leading up to the capture or leading up? Why offer the money, for any information for this investigation at all? I mean, what connection do you have to this guy? What's the purpose? And I don't believe that anybody has come forward with any information. So, I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Why would Wikileaks retweet the articles? Why would Julian Assange insinuate on Dutch TV that Seth Rich was in fact the leaker? Or at least insinuate that he could have been associated with the leaker in some kind of way, or, why? Why? So, yeah, in conclusion, I don't think Jimmy Dore retracted anything. I think he was horribly turned off by this guy, Rod Wheeler, after he found out that he didn't want to name sources. I just got done telling you maybe the reasoning, or maybe the reason why he didn't want to name sources is because he doesn't want anybody killed. Maybe he doesn't want to be killed by naming the wrong person. But again, that could be all bullshit. At the end, he did mention WikiLeaks, but again, is it the two things? Either he's horribly underestimating the validity of WikiLeaks, or he believes Julian Assange has a nefarious purpose behind these actions. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Oh, and this just right here, I'll show you real quick. Let's see. Friday morning, the Russian embassy in the UK tweeted a meme suggesting Hillary Clinton was connected to the murder of Seth Rich. Here's the tweet. Russian embassy in the UK. WikiLeaks informer Seth Rich murdered in US, but MSM, mainstream media, was so busy accusing Russian hackers to take notice. May 19, 2017, 7:13 a.m. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Ooh, it's hot in here. I gotta open this window. Ooh, like this video if you like this video. Share, subscribe, give me your support. And love, peace, and grease, y'all.